Dmitry Bivol rarely looks dramatic in the ring. No wild swings, no wasted movement, everything almost seems measured. The way he fights is all based on control, using brilliant range control, perfect balance, and precise punch selection. Bivol wins exchanges before punches even land. His foot positioning, jab timing, the small angle shifts, each action limits his opponent's options while keeping him safe. Today's breakdown, I'm going to show you the signature moves behind his success, the habits he repeats, and the decisions he makes under the pressure to show how Bivol has been so dominant at the world level. So, let's get right into it. Dmitry Bivol, a fighter of technical brilliance and unwavering discipline that has made him one of the best in the sport. His style is deeply rooted in that Soviet school of boxing, a system that has produced countless of elite fighters through the amateur system, with a huge emphasis on strong fundamentals, precise technique, and strategic control. However, he isn't just your textbook Eastern European fighter. While he embodies the core principles of the Soviet style, we have seen him incorporate elements of the flashier American style movements at times. He'll drop his guard slightly to improve his balance, create angles, and add an element of unpredictability. Bivol has openly cited Roy Jones Jr. and Sugar Ray Leonard as inspirations, and you can see the glimpses of their influence in his approach at times, whether it's his quick twitch reactions, his punch combinations, or his fluid footwork around the ring. He seamlessly blends defense with offense at times.
Many people from Russia said me, you have a Soviet Union style, yeah? And why they said that? Because I move a lot, I use my leg, and when I was young I loved to watch fights. Roy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard, they moved a lot, and I took a couple things from their fights, but I don't know how it called my style.
But at its core, Bivol's style remains a masterclass in discipline and control. He doesn't rely on sheer explosiveness and knockout power. Instead, he systematically outmaneuvers, outworks, and outthinks his opponents. Whether he's up against an aggressive pressure fighter or a defensive technician, his ability to dictate the pace and capitalize on openings makes him one of the most effective boxers in the sport today. But let's look deeper into the elements of what makes him so good. Pendulum footwork is a rhythmic, bouncing motion where a fighter shifts their weight between the front and back foot in a continuous flow. And this movement allows boxers to stay light and mobile and ready to attack or evade at any moment, and was seen as instrumental in the old amateur Soviet system. In terms of Dmitry Bivol, he uses this in and out movement to allow him to control range, stay light on his feet, and dictate the pace. Unlike a flat-footed pressure fighter who plants their feet to help generate more power, Bivol on the other hand has the ability to constantly shift his weight between his feet, allowing him to glide in and out of striking distance with ease. This movement isn't just for show, it serves multiple purposes. One being distance control. Bivol can step in to land a quick-fire combination before immediately retreating before his opponent can even have the chance to counter. While it's also very energy efficient once mastered like Bivol. Instead of constantly moving laterally or backpedaling, the pendulum step allows him to stay mobile with minimal effort, while it also helps with his feinting and rhythm disruption. The back and forth movement keeps opponents guessing whether he's going to attack or defend, making it harder for them to time their attacks, while it also sets up sudden offensive bursts when Bivol decides to exchange. We've seen this many times throughout his career, like his dominant performance against Canelo Alvarez, where he used it to avoid getting trapped against the ropes and to help set up his combination punching. But it also works when he's applying pressure on his opponent, forcing them onto the back foot. But what makes Bivol unique is how he combines that Eastern European footwork with a touch of the American style adaptability. He's never just bouncing in and out all the time. He also knows when to pause and plant with his feet and let his hands go at the right moment. His perfecting use of the pendulum footwork allows him to control space, one of the key reasons why he's so difficult to hit clean. In fact, he's one of the least hit fighters in the sport today, with opponents' total connect percentage being the lowest at 14% according to CompuBox, which is even less than Shakur Stevenson, who's considered the best defensive fighter in the sport right now. Furthermore, he was in with Beterbiev for 2 fights, who's one of the best offensive fighters in the sport. and still managed to keep this number down, proving that his defensive skills are truly on another level.
Smith has again, it's strange to say when a guy's had his jaw broken twice, but he's got a good jaw. He's got...
Dmitry Bivol's jab isn't just a rangefinder, it's a weapon that defines his entire style. Arguably the most accurate jab in the sport today, Bivol lands an exceptional 53.2% per round, with an average of 8.4 landing. But beyond the numbers, it's the way he uses it that makes it so effective. The jab is the foundation of his distance control and rhythm manipulation. By varying the speed, trajectory, placement, he keeps opponents guessing, sometimes flicking it to disrupt their guard, other times countering with it and stepping in with sharp, authoritative strikes to break the rhythm. It's not just defensive as well, it sets up his combinations, allows him to pivot out of danger, and keeps him in command of the fight's tempo. Another key aspect of Bivol's jab is how it serves as a psychological weapon. He's constantly touching, probing, and frustrating his opponents, making them hesitant to commit to their own offense. Even against aggressive fighters, his jab forces them to think twice before charging in, knowing they'll be met with a precise, stinging shot before they can close the gap.
How he springs into life, Bivol. Great speed. Look at the concentration on the face of Bivol.
A shotgun jab right there.
While sometimes you'll interchange it with the left hook to disrupt the opponent's rhythm even further.
Like the one day I'm not at MLB Network, I'm talking Hall of...
There are some years too, Brian.
Oh, hard jab from Bivol. Smith looks hurt.
While using it to frame off and pivot out to a different direction, while even using it as a main counter-punching tool. As fights progress, Bivol's jab remains his most valuable asset. Whether to rack up points, control the pace, or force mistakes from his opponent, it's truly a masterclass in efficiency, discipline, and precision, making it one of the most effective jabs in modern boxing in my opinion. Now I'm pointing to look at his counterpunching ability, and as you'd expect, it's built on precision, discipline, and deception. He doesn't just react to his opponent's offense, he actively manipulates their decisions, forcing them into traps where he can capitalize. One of his most effective tools is baiting opponents into throwing. He'll drop his lead hand or maintain a high guard, making it appear as if an opening is there. But these invitations are calculated. He's in fact already in a position to fire a counter the moment they commit.
More of the boss.
His jab plays a key role in this setup as well. It's not just a tool for maintaining the distance, it's a trigger for reactions. By constantly touching an opponent's guard or flicking to the body, he forces them to respond, allowing him to read their patterns and exploit openings. Bivol's pendulum footwork is another crucial aspect of his countering ability, as it allows him to glide in and out of range effortlessly.
As we get ready for Sergey Kovalev, is considerably more prominent. Light heavyweight Gennady Golovkin, an athlete.
Roy Jones Jr. is basement.
I mean, he was boxing nicely as that, and he just got sloppy. He came tall. His hands.
This makes him difficult to pin down, as he can step in with quick jabs and immediately retreat before an opponent can fire back. Against Biev, he did just this, using this dynamic footwork to draw out attacks and create countering opportunities. At one point he was actually able to bait Biev into throwing a jab, before shifting into a southpaw stance mid-movement, firing back with a sharp left hand, exploiting the openings with both precision and power. This was one other great example of how Bivol's ability to combine baiting, jab manipulation, and dynamic footwork into his counterpunching skill set. He doesn't just evade danger, he turns defensive movement into offensive opportunities. That's why he's one of the best counterpunchers in the sport.
Overhand rights being landed by Canelo.
Oh, look at Bivol. Look at him go. Oh, my word, Bivol. And Canelo once more. Bivol starting to tee off. Zero blocking some of these. 6 years, 2018 was the last time he finished a fight. And he's ready to go. Oh, Connor, and they'll stop it. Dmitry Bivol.
It would be wrong if I didn't finish off with his combination punching. While he's naturally a cautious, calculated fighter, he knows exactly when to unleash these sharp, well-timed bursts of offense, and when to pull back to reset the tempo. One of his most effective tactics is how he occupies the opponent's guard before striking with precision. He often starts by probing with straight punches, forcing his opponent to tighten their defense. The moment they commit to blocking the center line, he whips a left hook around the guard, exploiting the gap they unknowingly created. From there, he seamlessly transitions back to straight punches, keeping his attacks unpredictable and difficult to anticipate. Another key to the success is how he subtly changes the trajectory of his punches, whether angling his jab slightly upward or turning over the right hand at the last moment. Bivol makes it incredibly difficult for opponents to read, react, or effectively defend. This variation, combined with quick exits after landing, keeps his opponents hesitant and second guessing when and where the next attack will come from. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Bivol's combinations is how mechanically precise they are. It's almost like watching him on the double M bag. Each punch is delivered with intent, accuracy, and just enough power to make an impact on his opponent, all while maintaining perfect balance and control. Unlike other volume punchers who looked overwhelmed, Bivol rarely overcommits. After landing his combination, he often shifts back onto the back foot, resetting his rhythm again to keep his opponent guessing. His ability to seamlessly blend offense and defense, attack in bursts, then disengage before countering immediately, is what makes his combination punching so effective. He doesn't just throw punches, he constructs sequences designed to break down an opponent, piece by piece, forcing them into mistakes, while always staying one step ahead. In my opinion, Bivol's signature moves within his style is what makes him so successful in the ring. The repetition, control, balance, and timing of everything that he does makes him so effective, both when attacking and defending. And I believe anyone can pick up a thing or two by studying his fights. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on Dmitry Bivol. What do you think is the most effective part of his style? What do you think is the most effective signature move he uses within his style? I'd love to know. This has been Jimmy from Boxing Life. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. I want to tell you about the Boxing Life Patreon. On there, I have an ever-growing library of fight film studies, which goes into extensive details of tactics and styles. Not only that, you get early access to upcoming videos and extra content, including my betting previews with my own personal predictions and picks, while you can also ask me questions on my monthly Q&A. If you want to go a step further, the champ level tier gives you the request for me to create your own film study or cover a boxing topic. Whether it's your favourite fighter or an upcoming fight, I'll cover it. This is a great way to support the channel and for me to dive deeper into the sweet science without the worry of content getting blocked or demonetized on YouTube. If you want to try it out, there is a 7-day free trial. I'll leave it in the description below.